Caregiving 101, Starr Calo-oy is back, this time with her husband, Bob, who knows very well the role of caring for a loved one. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
The last time you were here, Bob, we were introducing Caregiving 101, so thank you again for being here.
Oh, it's a real pleasure.
Yeah, let's first of all, let's talk about the roles that both of you played as caregivers and what that was like for both of you.
Well, there were many roles, you know. For me, it was a real change. It took me out of the traditional role as head of the household, breadwinner, everything else. It just completely had to change my whole attitude about what we were doing. Because when we started, we thought we were doing a favor. We got a call, and her best friend had two foster home care, and she was filled up, so she asked us if we could take care of a pastor's father. So we prayed about it, did it the next day, and we thought we were doing a favor, not signing up for a career that's lasted over 20 years.
Lasted over 20 years, but both of you, I know, Starr, you mentioned this before, that for many years, both you and Bob have cared for loved ones.
Yes, we have.
Your own family members.
In fact, my mother and all.
Absolutely. We've taken care of my own mother and father for many years. We took care of Starr's beloved grandmother and her own mother until they passed away. And we had the great honor and privilege of doing that for each other.
And it makes for a really sticky situation, especially when you have not only your parents there, but you also have your kids.
Because we had our little ones there at the same time. We had, right now, Kaylee's 11 and Cayenne's 13. So we did this for 20 years. So Mother just passed away August of 2006. So we had Mother at the same time. And I have to say that was such a blessing having my husband support me. So I really speak to all of our viewers and tell them, for the men, you don't know how important it is for you to support your wife.
And so, Bob, let me ask you, as a man and as somebody who has been a caregiver, it's difficult, especially for the men?
Well, yes, because like I told you, caregiving takes you out of the traditional male role. You know, you're the breadwinner. It's difficult to come home and take your suit and tie off, or put down your toolkit or your briefcase and change into work clothes at home, because usually caregiving, your day starts when you get home. You think you had a hard day at work, it begins in caregiving family when you get home.
What kind of advice do you have for the men out there who have found themselves as caregivers?
Well, first of all, they have to come to grips with it and really understand where you're at and where your wife is doing and where your family is, because it changes the dynamics of the family tremendously. Number one, you're no longer, it's not always all about you anymore.
Or fixing things.
And men are fixers, you know. We want to take care of everything, and when you come to caregiving, there's a situation long term that it's impossible to fix, at least immediately.
You got to be a nurturer now, right?
Definitely. So.
Wow.
Right, because 61% of all caregivers out there are women, and half of that are men, so it's a totally different role now that they're taking. And I want to talk about the books, because you share some of that in your books, is that right?
Yes, we sure do, Eileen. All of our books are available at any bookstore or on our website, caregiversadvice.net, but we give specific tips so that the men can read it and they understand what their wife is going through and what a blessing they are to their loved ones. And the Powerful Caregiving Conference, Bob will be speaking on men and caregiving.
Good, very good.
To the men. So take your men, take your husbands, the fathers, and let them hear how to cope with their own emotions.
Right, because men do cope with it differently than women, and so it's a family affair, really. It really is. Yes.
And we have free tickets also today.
Free tickets.
For the first 5 callers right now, we'll give you each 2 tickets. Okay, for the conference, Powerful Caregiving Conference. Plus, all volunteers get in free. November 14th.
November 14th, next Sunday. And so once again, Caregiving 101, if you miss it here, you can always listen to them on KKYX 680.